Make no mistake about it, Michael Keaton was the best thing about the Flash movie. Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video I'm going to give my thoughts, opinions and ratings on the brand new movie The Flash, which is out in cinemas now. If this is your first time to the channel, please make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment, let me know what you think of this particular movie. Now I know I'm supposed to talk about it, give my thoughts and opinions, and at the very end give you a score out of 10 or stars out of 5. I'm going to do the opposite. This particular movie for me, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to be a lot more skeptical and a lot more negative towards it. I think this movie overall was 3 stars out of 5 or 6 out of 10. However, make no mistake about it, Michael Keaton, as I said in the intro, is the best thing about this movie. And I think 1, if not 2 of those stars are purely for Michael Keaton or nostalgia or whatever you want to call it. Other things I enjoyed about it was Sasha Calle's performance as Supergirl. I thought she did really well. Underused, definitely, but did really well. And the third thing is Ezra Miller's performance. Now, just to be crystal clear on that, I'm talking about Ezra Miller's acting as Barry Allen, not the Flash, okay? The Ezra Miller basically has been kind of... I suppose a lot of people are of the opinion that he was miscast as Barry Allen. I can see why. I've seen some of the source material and seen the Flashpoint animated movie, so I can see why people would say he's been miscast. However, his performance as Barry Allen was quite good. The fact that it looked like he was talking to a younger version of himself for most of the movie, it did very well. It's one of the effects in the movie I actually think was quite good, and we will get to the CGI because for the most part the CGI in this movie it looks like a movie that was made maybe 10-15 years ago. Start with the positives. It was great to see Michael Keaton again, okay? Would I rather watch this movie over 89 or 92? Never. Did it feel like it was the same Batman in this movie from 89 or 92? Not at all. But with that being said, it was great to see Wayne Manor again. Some of the movies and sets look very like the movies and sets from 89 and 92. It was great to see the Batcave again. It was more emotional than I expect to see that 1989 Batmobile, although again it's a spoiler review, he never actually drives it. They take a look at it, we gush over it, and that's it. The new Batwing's pretty cool, however I'm still a fan of the original, and the action scenes were quite good. Obviously they've been aided with CGI. There's things they can do now that we couldn't do in 89 or 1992. With that being said though, some of that CGI was quite shoddy as well. It looked often to be kind of like, maybe an advanced gameplay or something like that, or even some shoddy gameplay in some computer games. Sasha Calle was great but really underused. They basically break her out. She kicks ass for a while and all that kind of stuff, but some of the CGI again, fairly bad. In terms of the negative things I didn't like, I'm not a DCEU fan. I'm not a DCEU fan. I'm not a fan of the movies because I don't think they're good enough, to be honest. It had some gems in there, like I like Man of Steel. Perfect movie? Absolutely not, but a solid start. It should have been a solid start to a Cavill trilogy. I believe they had the best Superman. He looked the part, he was great in the role, but unfortunately just became an absolute mess because the DCEU started to try to do what Marvel did, only Marvel, for the first 3 phases up to an Endgame at least, took their time, planned things out. The DCU just went, oh, it's working for Marvel, it'll work for us, and it unfortunately didn't. Second movie then was a bit of an unorthodox one, probably know what I'm going to say, James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, but apart from that, Black Adam, I thought it was terrible. The original Suicide Squad, terrible. The Wonder Woman films, not a fan at all. Justice League, Snyder Cut, low fat, I don't care what it is, I'm not a fan. And again, just my opinion, not trying to offend anyone. If you like them, more power to you. There was definitely aspects of the DCU I've liked, for example, the fight in Batman vs Superman for Batman vs Superman, when they fought right up to the part where Martha's name was brought into it. Back to The Flash, anyway. One of the main concerns is that the CGI was terrible. I mean, whether it's the falling baby scene or whether it's the colliding multiverse spheres or Nicolas Cage's in his Superman suit, just the CGI was not up to scratch. The directors come out and said that's the way it was intended. We did this was like an artistic choice. I don't buy that at all. This movie had $220 million or plus in its budget. I just think that they blew a lot of money. They made a lot of mistakes. They made a lot of reshoots, and unfortunately not up to scratch. the CGI. That should have been something that should be rectified. Another thing is that the cameos, the only cameo that actually really matters here is probably Keaton's. I mean, in this movie we see Wonder Woman jumps onto a bridge, helps Batman, disappears. Doesn't really do anything to add to the story. We also see George Clooney's Batman, random, doesn't add anything to the story. We also then saw Christopher Reeves, we saw Cavill from the back, we saw Supergirl and some guy called George from the 1930s who portrayed Superman. That's all fine, they're paying homage and Nicolas Cage as Superman, that's all fine. But it's just like, here, look what we have, here's some fan service. Whereas you take something like Spider-Man No Way Home, it brought in Andrew, it brought in Toby, two big fan favourites, but actually got them to do something that added to the story. Andrew got his redemption arc and Toby was the wise, older leader. Yeah, so for me, the Keaton scenes, the mansion, the Batmobile, even though he didn't drive it, the Batwing scenes, fantastic, his action scenes, all great, super. Sasha Calle, looked great, very, very well acted actually. She doesn't do much, but what she does actually counts. I'd like to see her storyline. I'd like to see her again. Unfortunately, I don't think we are actually going to see it, but who knows what James Gunn would bring to this new reset version of DCU. Another thing I have an issue with is, as much as Ezra had some fantastic acting when he was playing Barry Allen, as soon as he steps inside that suit, the CGI just looks really, really bad. It's not even like it's the CGI, but some like design choice and things they do. For example, he does this like, I don't know what it is, like a charge up pose or something like that before he starts running. I mean, this guy is going to like a hospital to save these falling babies. You'd think that every millisecond counts, but yet he's the time to do this terrible superhero pose thing. We know that the way he runs, or the way the director got him to run, also takes a lot of us out of it. It's fine when you just see like the streak of lightning like running through a city or something like that, but when he's up close, unfortunately it just doesn't work. The villain, this is another DCEU trope. We've seen this before in Batman vs Superman when this Doomsday came up. CGI, big massive CGI fight. It's like a trope now at this stage. We saw it in Batman vs Superman. We saw it in the Justice League in the Snyder Cut. And now we're seeing it again. So another like kind of like CGI powered up like beast type thing. I'm talking about the Dark Flash. I really didn't think that worked. I thought the concept was good. It reminded me of like in Multiverse of Madness, not Multiverse of Madness, but the Doctor Strange episode of Marvel's What If. He was hell-bent on making things right. And the Dark Flash is a lot like that. That concept was very good, but the design really wasn't on point, and he was defeated very, very, very easily. Wasn't a fan of that either. A few other things, strange little choices as well, which took me out of it. During this massive battle scene with Zod and all his henchmen and stuff like that, and Supergirl and Keaton and the Batwing, and you have the two different versions of Flash, like Young Flash and Old Flash. They play, I think it's a White Stripes song, and I really do I like when you have action scenes with good rock music behind it. Who doesn't? But there's a strange moment where they actually touch heels, and it was like, I presume it's supposed to look cinematic in the design choice, but it really, really does look lame. Look, is it a bad movie? I think it'd be too harsh just to call it a bad movie. Like, I'd be quick to, Black Adam is a bad movie. It is an awful movie. The first Suicide Squad is an awful movie. I think the first cut, whatever, but the Snyder cut, the Justice League, bad movies. I don't think this is a bad movie. I think it's better than, say, the likes of Black Adam or the Suicide Squad. But if you take Keaton out of this, it turns into a bad movie. And I think, like, as much as I enjoyed seeing Keaton back again, there was a lot of fan service. For example, you know, the I'm Batman, let's get nuts, how much do you weigh, all that kind of stuff. And that's fine and all, but it was like, you know, yeah, I'm here, I'll say the line, I'll get paid. Never once did I think that this was 1989 or 92 Keaton from the Burtonverse. I just look at this as like an alternative version. It's great that he's back. I did enjoy him. Definitely was a bit emotional watching him, but no, for me, take him out of it, and then it's a bad movie. There are my thoughts on the movie. Overall, look, it's a fun popcorn film. If you're a Keaton fan, you'll enjoy the Keaton scenes, but then again, you probably would enjoy the Keaton scenes if you'd waited until they're on YouTube in a few months. Look, they're my thoughts anyway. Yeah, if you want to support the channel, like the video. subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this particular movie. You can also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.